Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. I'm so glad that you did. And before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much. When I uploaded my video yesterday, I'm so sorry it took so long to upload. I have no idea why, but I'm glad that it did. And when I did go to upload it, I noticed that I had 9 new subscribers. I am over the moon. I am so grateful, and I can't thank you all enough. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I haven't gotten to yesterday's comments yet, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. You've encouraged me so much to continue videoing when I was just about ready to stop videoing. So thank you again. Today I am going to do some snippets and show you how I stitch those. They're very easy. They're not difficult at all. And this time, if you haven't been following me, I made my last ones too large for my skinny journal that I'm making. So this time I measured before I made them, which is probably the smart thing to do. And so let's get started. I made this one. Oh, well, before I get started, if you were visiting me yesterday, I was making the page flips, and I showed you one that I was going to make out of a book page, and I did finish that. It's right here. So I wanted to show you. I just paper clipped it so I would know where it was and I wouldn't have to go searching for it in my journal. I'm going to be stitching this in today. Yay! And I have some fabric I've chosen. And I also got some fabric, a gift from one of the people I purchased from on Etsy, and I may be using some of that today. I'll show you in a little bit, but this is the one that I finished yesterday out of the book page, and I did do some lace on the side, and I added some cross stitch. Now I did do the cross stitch before I actually put the tea stain paper on the inside so you wouldn't see the stitching. Okay, so what I did was I glued the lace on, then I cross stitched it, and then I put, you know, the magnets in, and then, you know, glued in the tea stain paper. So I thought that came out really pretty, and I really, really like it. So you can do this with book page, and you don't have to cross stitch if you don't know how to cross stitch. You can just do any kind of stitching, or no stitching. It's up to you. So anyway, that's that. I have no idea where I'm going to put it yet, so I'll just put it here for now. And again, you can use it for a flip out. You can add pockets. You can decorate the inside if you want. I'm going to use it for writing. And yeah, so I love it. I think it came out really pretty. So that's that. And now we'll get started on these little snippets that I make. Now what I do is I typically will get out a bunch of things that I want to make my snippets with. So I know I want to use, you know, some kind of lined paper or graph paper or something with a pattern in it. I always use a tea stain paper for like my base to start. I pulled out some music paper. Some that I've done some paint swatching on, and some just tea stained. And then I pulled out some script scraps. And then this is just a bunch of scraps. These are actually some spools. I use these for many different things, but I have some that I haven't used. So what I do if I don't use them is I will make little scraps out of them and use them in my projects. So that's another idea, you know, if you're looking for, you know, little scraps of paper to go with your journal, or, you know, something like that as a focal point. This was one of these spools, but as you can see, I just took the two sides off. Well, I just tore it down. And then, I just have a bunch of other scraps in here that, we could use. Here's another spool. These could have been tickets, I'm not sure. I have some tickets in here as well. And then I have some magazine and probably some book page snippet, little pieces too. This was one of the tickets that I didn't use, another ticket I didn't use. So yeah, and then once I'm done with my project, these will all go into, I have a tin, and I will make other things with them right away, and probably put them with my fall things, so that I have them if I make another fall journal this year, or when I make another fall journal next year. Okay, so let's get started. So this is my base, and I've measured how big I need it so that it will fit into my journal. So as you can see, like if I put it on this page, I know that this is going to fit. And you can use it just as a decoration, or you could put something in it. Let me get a piece of ephemera here, or a tag maybe. I also added some lace to this one in a little leaf charm. This is the one I made yesterday, and then that's the inside. Okay, so I just added a little charm and some lace. That's it. But if you wanted to use that for a pocket, I don't know if this will fit. Let me just get a tag. Or something. Let's see if this will fit. So what I would do is I would probably just glue it here and here, so something could slide right in here, and I could use that as a pocket. Okay, so that's why I make these. I just love them. And this one I did some stitching on, and all I did was some little green lines, and then I put some French knots. And I'll show you, you don't have to use French knots. You could just, do any kind of stitch and make little flowers, or use buttons, or not stitch at all. You could just use a focal point, But this is just some fabric, some lace, and then pieces of paper, and I just put one of Lydia's sentiments here. It says Fields of Gold. And then I backed it with some piano paper, piano roll. And this is just, keep forgetting what it's called. I don't know why I keep forgetting what it's called. There we go. So anyway, so that's the one I made to show you how I'm going to make today's. That's what it will end up looking like. And why I measured this time, because the last time they were way too big. So I'll send those in my Happy Mail this month. Okay, so put that there. I'm going to move some things out of the way. I always thread my needles before I start, just so I know what colors I'm going to use, and because otherwise I've got this on my desk, and for me it's like it will take me forever to choose a color. So I'm going to put that aside. Oops, sorry if I hit the camera. Put these away, and just have a sip of my tea. Thank you. So I have that. I don't need the paper clip, I don't think, but I'll put that over there. So anyway, and then I keep my threads in here that I'm going to use so I can rethread my needle. This is just a jar from the Dollar Tree, and this is one of those wrist pin cushions from the Dollar Tree, and I glued it on top of here. And this is the one I keep on my desk because I'm always using threads or needles or what have you. And so whatever colors I choose, I take out and then I put them in here so that I can just grab them as I go. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so we're going to start with my base because I know that I cannot go any larger than that. And this is just tea stain paper. So I have some of this, and I always do this when I make my snippets. So I have some plain paper. I think I'll use the darker side. And then I have, let's see, I have some music paper here. Now, do I want to use something with color? Sure, why not? I think I'll go more with that color, with this color, with these colors, because I have lots of like other color. Well, it really doesn't matter because it's going to probably get covered up. So I'm going to save those for something else because it will probably get covered up with the fabric. So I'll use a piece of this. I won't make a whole bunch. I'll just make one because otherwise you'll be sitting here all day and you don't want to do that. So then I'll take a piece of this, which is just some graph paper that I tea stained. I took it out of an old ledger and that wasn't written on. I just think this is maybe too wide. So I'll put this here. I don't really have a system when I put it down. I just do it as I like it, as I see that I like it. So I'll just take this off. I really love that. So I'm gonna probably take this off. So there's 3 layers. I'm gonna move this tea stain up just a little bit. And if I sew on it, as you can see, I backed it with some piano roll. And I can just snip this off because it's glued. So, and you're not going to see it anyway once it's down, on your paper. But I just like to back it because the stitching is really messy on the back because I go all over the place when I do my stitching. So, so there's that. And I don't like to have a lot of pieces around me because that just confuses, it just gives me too many options and it just takes too long. If I do it this way, I can whip these up really fast. So then I need, let's see, I need some fabric. So I took out some fabric that I thought would go well. Now, one of the things I do too is I print on fabric. This is from the Autumn Florals, I think, kit from Lydia. So a lot of times, I've used this in several different things for this journal, but you don't really have to have that. I pulled out some vintage sheets and just some pieces that I had in my stash. There's another little piece of that fabric, so I think I'll use that. That's from the kit that I printed on pillowcase that I tore apart. Oh, this is pretty. You might be able to use that. That looks good. Because I'm not going to do a lot of stitching. I think I'll do some leaves and maybe some buttons on this one. But actually, I think what I'll do is put this up here if I'm going to do that. And I'll put this lace down here. And then I just need and I love these jars. I collect them everywhere. You can get them. I think I paid, I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I just love jars because you can see through them. And these are just my scrap places. So when I'm doing the project, I'll first pull my scrap laces. And then if I need a specific color, I have them all over my room on my shelves in glass jars, all in different colors. So I'll use that little piece of fabric, and then, and if you want to know how to print on fabric, I can either show you in another video. I know I've done fabric in other videos before, I think. I really don't remember. But I can show you how I do it. It's so simple. But I really like that. I like how that looks. So I think I'll do that. And I just need, I don't know if I need any more color. Let me take, I don't want script. Let me see if I have some color in here. I don't think green. Maybe this is Paris. I'll cover up the music, but I could do this. Maybe lift this up a little bit and lift this up a little bit. That's a lot of green. I don't want green. That's too close. Oh, this is pretty. No. What does this script look like? I like that. So we've got lots of color, but I like it like that. Or, let's see. Let me just take a little bit of this, maybe. See, you can't have too many options if you're like me. If you're like me, you cannot have too many options. Let's see. I probably love that, and I probably won't change it. I always go with my first choice, but I always check and double check. Because, you know, I don't want everything to be too matchy. Oh, I'm so sorry. So yeah, that looks good. Didn't cover up the music paper too much. I still have, let me pull this up a little bit. So I don't really care if I see the tea stain paper. That's just my base to go by my size. Okay then. That looks good. I like that. And then we'll add our lace in a minute. And we'll add that in a minute. Okay. So that's that. Let me just clip these back together. So I have them all together. And we'll put this aside. And I think I'll use this cheesecloth. That's it, cheesecloth. Or the other I use the tea stained, but I think for this one I'll use it's not tea stained, it's just the regular color. So I'll just snip it. And what I do is I keep it on just a roll of, I don't even know what this roll is from, but that's what I do to keep it. And then when I tea stain it, I keep it just in a baggie. Like this, I fold it up and I keep it in a baggie. I always give people ideas on how to store things just because, you know, that way, I don't know, it just gives people ideas. I like to get people's ideas on how they keep things because, and then it gives me ideas on how to, keep things. So I think I'll stick that behind there. And I'll stick this I'll pull this a little bit just to kind of pull it out a little bit and make it not so uniform. I'll put this here. That looks good. Okay, so then what I do is I just take my glue stick, and these work up really fast. They really do. I just get really nervous when I do videos. So then what I do is I take my pieces off like this, and I just glue it. Now, I will typically run the sewing machine through these if I'm not gonna slow stitch them. So all I do is glue them like this. So I'm gonna put this up here and make sure I don't go too far over that edge. And then I'm just gonna stick this here, like so. And I think I will make this a little bit less straight by doing this. And that way it doesn't look so straight, if you know what I mean. And then we want to take this piece here. I'm just going to take this white off. And I have a whole can of scraps, and I just pull what I think will match. So I'll put this here. These are fun. I could do this like on a day like today. It's a cloudy day. Again, overcast a little bit. It was real cloudy and foggy this morning. But tomorrow we are going to the village, and I'm really looking forward to it because on Saturdays they have the farmers market, and the prices are very reasonable, and I have a lot of canning I want to do. So I'll be able to pick up a lot of vegetables and things like that to do canning. My husband enjoys it as well, and we make a lot of relishes and things like that for Christmas gifts. We've gotten our canning jars already. And I forgot to put that there, so let me just stick this down. And be careful of this because it's going to get your hands gluey. So just kind of tap it down like that. I'm just going to kind of do this. Don't want to get too much on that. So I want to see that color. I like it. And then I think I'll take a little bit of this off just to kind of make it a little bit more less like I cut it, you know? I want it to look like a scrap. So for this, I'll just run it across my glue, like so. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just gonna run it across like this and tear off that piece because, like I said, I want to make sure I don't go any larger than this one, which I'm not. And you could use these for anything. You could use it as a paper clip. You could use it, you know, you could make it this way and use it, you know, put everything this way and use it as a, you know, as a side tuck, you know, or as a tab for your journal. You could fold it. I mean, you could use it on top of a tag by cutting it in half and use it, you know, for the top of your tag. These are so versatile. And I'm sure you've all made them before, but this is just my take on how I make them. I just want to get a little bit less of this. Don't want so much of it. But I do want it to look a little bit like grass. Do I need that or not? I don't think I really need it. I think that's going to be enough, because I'm going to put the lace here, and I'm going to put this as kind of like my little focal point, I think, there, or maybe like this. Here, I do need that. I don't know why, but I do. It just, I don't know, it just seems like it needs it. So I'll just put a little bit of glue here and kind of just, I love cheesecloth. I think it really, I don't know, it just kind of gives it just enough of that, whatever it is that you need. Now I'm just going to kind of pick some threads here to make it a little bit more shabby looking. And like I said, this little piece of fabric came from something I printed. It's from one of Lydia's, from Raindrop Lila. It's one of her digitals. And this is just a very small piece of it. Because I made other things from out of fabric using her digitals. I like to print on digitals. I think it looks nice. Okay, so let me see. This will go maybe like this. And then I don't know if the problem is this lace. I think it is. I think I need a plain lace. Is that too white? I have a green. That might be too much color. Yeah. Let's see. Got a small piece here. Can't really see it though. I'm sorry. That's too red. I thought I had some other lace in here that was darker, with a more like blue color. Hold on a moment, I have a lot more lace in here. I just didn't pull it all out because I thought that I had enough pulled. I didn't. So let me just grab. This doesn't have a lot of color. I'll use this. Perfect. That's better. Yeah, I think that other one just, I don't know, it had too much color or something in it. This has a little bit of a gold thread in it, but, you know, it's not taking away from anything. I think the other just was taking away from my little focal point here. So I'm going to put that there. Decisions are very hard for me. And then I think I might just take the top of this off because it's kind of covering up my words here. So I think I'll do something like this here across the bottom. You don't really need lace, but oh, I like that much better. See? Tiny little piece. That's all you need. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to do the same thing here. Put a little bit of glue from my glue stick. And I'm going to place this like this. Nope. Like this. And then I'm going to just do the same thing here. Like this. And there you have your snippet. Now you can run it through your sewing machine, you can stitch it, or you can do nothing. You know, you can just leave it the way that it is. But I'm going to do a little bit of stitching just to show you what I do. And then that'll be all. I'll just do one for today. Where are we in time? Oh, we're already at 30. Oh dear. I think I talked too much. So let me get some green thread. And what I'll do is, let's see, I'll start down here and I'll come up here so I can show you. I'm just going to go through here and just make some lines, almost like stems, like this. And I'm not going to make them even. I'm going to just kind of go all over, you know, and catch my pieces here because I'm not going to run it through my sewing machine. See how quick this is? Oops. And I'm not going to do too many because I think what I'll do is, rather than, well, maybe I'll do, I don't know what I'll do yet. Maybe I'll do a few French knots on and show you how I do that. This I'll kind of go this way to make like a little stem. I'll come back over here and make a little stem over here as well. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And I'll come over here and do a little stem this way. And it kind of makes a little field of flowers. Like this one, I put fields of gold right here. And it doesn't take long at all. And this is so relaxing to do. Like what I typically will do is I'll do all my snippets first. You know, I'll do like 10 of them. And then I'll go back and do the stitching. You know, I'll pick my colors and, you know, that kind of thing. Now in here, I used 2 different color greens, but you really couldn't tell. One green was a little bit more olive than the other. You know, which you can do. So, yeah, that's all you do, really. Is just put your little stitches wherever you want them. And you use whatever color thread you want, depending on what you want to stitch. You know, I'm just making little stems and leaves and, well, you know, and then I'll decide what I want to put on them. You know, buttons or what have you. You know, if I have too many that are stitched, you know, that are just stitched, now I'm going to come way down here because I need to. Oops. Don't want to lose my thread. And I'm only using 2 strands of thread in my needle. You can use 3 if you'd like to make it darker. You know, if you'd like a more heavier look in your thread. So I'm just going to kind of go like this. And I am really a beginner in slow stitching. I have really no experience. I have a little book, embroidery book. So, I mean, I used to cross stitch a lot. I mean, that was just, you know, quilting and cross stitching was like my favorite thing to do. But my mother-in-law did embroidery and she did tapestries. I mean, just beautiful work. But I just never really, I was always so busy, I just never really got into it. but I would cross stitch in the evenings. And you know, I love to quilt, but I always used a machine. I didn't do a lot of hand quilting. So I think I need a few more. Let me see if I can get some more out of this thread. Put a little one here. And I gotta come back down here into this lace. But I don't know if I have enough thread. If I don't, that's fine. I can add it later. And that's all you do, really. Let me see if I can get one more out of this. Oh, I want to kind of come up out of this one. Oh. I think I just lost my thread. I'm just going to rethread that later. Okay, so there I have that. I may put, you know, something in the middle of that later. So there I have that. And then I will take some yellow. And see if I knotted that. No, I didn't. Oh, yes, I did. I feel it. And I will simply find some place like here. And I'll come up through this hole. And how, oh, I didn't knot it. Yes, I did. It's the wrong end. And how I do my French knots, they're really simple. Let me just cut this so I don't have it in the way. Well, I better not because I need to thread that to bring it in the back. So how I do my French knots is I'll come up, so I want a little flower there. Okay, I'll come up through here, and then I take my needle. This is going to be hard to show you. I wrap it oops. This isn't going to be easy. Maybe I should use buttons. So I go there, and then I wrap it. I take my needle, I put the thread behind my needle, and I go 1, 2, 3, hold that thread, hold it in your, you know, oh, it came out again. You know what? I think what I'll do is use, on this one, just show you how I use buttons. So let me get a small button, just so you have an idea. If you wanted to do French knots or just, you know, let me just try something other than a French knot, something easy, like this. Watch. Take your thread, do this, and then just go up just a teeny tiny little bit. Okay, there's 1 stitch, okay? And do 3 stitches, and that will look like a flower. There's 2. They're teeny tiny little stitches. There's 2, and then I'll do kind of 1 in the middle. I'm just making this up as I go. And there you go, there you have a little flower. And then just take your finger and press it down, and you've got a little flower. Here, I'll do another one here on the fabric so you can see it better. Here's 1. So just take a little tiny stitch. These are called seed stitches. When you do little tiny stitches like this. There's 1. Here's another one. And these are just little tiny stitches to make little flowers, rather than the French knots. I have to really get close because of my vision to be able to see. Now I'm coming up a little bit higher than these 2 stitches. See, these 2 are here. I'm coming up just a little bit higher to make that look more like a flower. Okay? See? And then I'll come over here to this stem, or what looks like a stem. Once you get it all done, it looks like a stem. Looks like a little field of flowers. And then you can change your color after you get these 3 done. You could change your color to another color so that they're not all yellow, or you could keep them all yellow. So I want to go to the right with a tiny stitch. Then I want to come back up through that same hole and go to the left with a tiny stitch, just a tiny one, just like you're sewing a button. And then I'm going to come up with a longer stitch in the middle and make a little flower. And I just made this up as we were videoing. I've never done this before, but I like them. They're so pretty. And then I'm going to do one more, and then I'll probably switch my color to something else. Like this. Go to the right, one more stitch, and then up through here. Don't lose your thread. To the left, and then one in the middle. These are so cute, and see how fast that was? Very relaxing. And I'm gonna go up in the middle just a little bit higher than those 2. And there you go. Isn't that so pretty? And now I'll change my color to go on the other stems, and I'll finish the green. Okay? And then I'm just going to stick this back here, and that's why I back it, because I go all over the place. And I'll just back that with, you know, tea stain paper or what have you, and that will go right in my journal as, you know, just a decoration, or a little pocket, or a tag, or just something really pretty. You know, and you could do this with all fabric too if you wanted to, but you know, I'm just showing you a different way that you can stitch on paper, and it looks really, really pretty. So now I just want to get, where's my box of words? Excuse me. How about, I'm going to say peaceful moments, because it just reminds me of a peaceful moment that I just had. And this is my journal, so that's what I'd like to remember about doing this, is that it was a peaceful moment while I was doing it. And then I'll just take this and run it across my glue, like so. And I'm going to place that right here so you can see it. And there we go. And then you have a pretty little snippet that's unfinished. But I'll finish it, and I'll show you them all tomorrow when I show you how to make a fabric cover for your journal, because I do have my fabric chosen. I hope. I may get scared and show you how I made it. I don't know. one time I made a cover for a journal on video, and I made so many mistakes. So I don't know yet. But I'll finish these. I'll finish a few of these, and I'll show you in the next video. So I hope that you enjoyed that. And, you know, you could use buttons. Here's a button. You could, you know, just do like a couple across and do some stems. So put your buttons on. Let's see. So let's take that button just for an example. So you just do this. Before you did your stitches, you'd take your little buttons and you'd put them across like this, okay? And then you could sew your buttons on, okay? Go across with your buttons like this, all right? And then do a green, you know, stitch down this way and a leave, and a stitch and a leave, and a stitch and a leave. And then you have another way of doing it. Like, I made some with buttons, but I think I put them away. I don't think they were in here. I'm positive they're not in here. Or are they? No, I think I put them away because I'm going to be sending those in Happy Mail for the month. And I've got to get those, not Happy Mail, but my my letters out for this month. So I already put them away. But you get the point. Just take them, put them across, sew them on like this. Okay? So sew your buttons on, and then just put green stems with the leaf. And it's just one stitch, you know, go from the bottom of the top, and then a leaf here and a little stitch there, and the same thing. And then you've got another one. So you don't have to do, oops, you don't have to do little stitches like this if you don't want to. Or you don't have to do any stitches at all. You know, you could just run this through your sewing machine or not anything at all. Just, you know, glue it down good. So that's it. There's the 2 snippets for today. And I hope to be back tomorrow. Again, thank you a million times over for my returning subscribers, my new subscribers. Oh my goodness, I was almost in tears. I screeched out to my husband, I have 9 new subscribers. I was so happy. So welcome to my new subscribers. I know one of them is Sue. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much for your prayers, your love, and for encouraging me every day to continue crafting and believing in God that He is in control of everything. I feel so much better. And thank you all for visiting. Until next time, be well. Be kind, and God bless. Bye-bye, y'all.